Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome to this week's episode of We're Not Chefs. Today I'm going to show you how to make a no-bake chai cheesecake using cashews. I found this recipe on the Minimalist Baker blog and I'll link it below so you can follow along. I like making no-bake recipes during the summer, especially for desserts because it's hot. I don't like putting my oven on. I like a nice cool treat, and a cheesecake is great for that. So I'm excited to make this. I hope you enjoy watching it. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see all of the videos in our We're Not Chefs series, and let's get cooking. So the base of this cheesecake is cashew. I went ahead and soaked my cashews last night in cool water for about 8 hours. You could also soak your cashews for about half an hour in boiling water. I also went ahead and soaked my tea. I've soaked 2 chai tea bags and 1 black tea bag in about 2/3 boiling water for about 30 minutes, so that's ready to go for my filling. And now I'm gonna prep the ingredients for my crust. This crust is made with dates and walnuts, so first I'm going to blend up my walnuts to make them into like a more like powder, finer consistency because they're pretty big right now. So I'm gonna add these to my food processor. And I'm gonna also add a pinch of salt. And then I'm just gonna process these into a meal so that it'll make our crust. That looks pretty good. It's a nice fine meal, not too many big chunks, but a few in there. I'm gonna use my food processor for my next step, which is my dates. My dates were a little older, they were a little firmer, so I soaked them in hot water for a couple minutes just to make them a little bit easier to open and get the pits out. I'm using Medjool dates. This is about a cup of them. Now I'm adding the walnuts back into the food processor. My crust dough is done. You wanna just make sure that it's, pretty like squeezable. It can take a shape. If it's a little too wet, you might wanna add a few more walnuts. And if it's a little too dry, you might need to add another date. You just wanna make sure that you can kind of press it into the bottom of the pan, which is what I'm about to do. I've gone ahead and lined a springform pan with parchment paper, and I'll get this pressed in there now. So now that my crust is all done and pressed into the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the freezer just to firm it up. Now I'm gonna use my high-speed blender to make the filling. I'm gonna add the soaked cashews, my tea concentrate, a cup of coconut cream, 5 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, my chai spice blend, which is cinnamon, ginger, cloves, cardamom, black pepper, and nutmeg, and 2 tablespoons of grated fresh ginger. And now I'm just gonna blend this on high for maybe 3 to 4 minutes, just until it's really smooth and creamy and everything seems well incorporated. It's all done, it's nice and creamy, smells really good. I'm now just gonna pour this into my crust. And I'm just gonna give it a couple taps on the counter to get rid of any air bubbles. This is gonna go into the freezer for about 6 hours, probably even overnight. So I will probably see you tomorrow, which will just be mere minutes, mere seconds for you. But it'll be a whole nother day for me, but there'll be a cheesecake ready to eat. My cheesecake is ready. I left it in the freezer overnight, and this morning I moved it into the fridge for about 2 hours so it could thaw and it'd be easier to slice. I've got a slice right here that I'm about to try. I would love for you to make this recipe. I would love for you to let me know in the comments below if you make it, what maybe your favorite no-bake recipe is, because maybe I want to try and make that next. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes, and I'll see you next time. Bye.